kitchen's hot.
What, Essie?
I say that kitchen's awful hot. That new candy you're making will ever get cool.
Do you have to make candy today, Essie? It's such a hot day.
Well, I got all those new orders. Ed went out and got a bunch of new orders.
My, thank you, son. I suppose you'll be opening up a store.
That's what Ed was saying last night, but I said no. I want to be a dancer.
The only trouble with dancing is it takes so long. You've been studying such a long time.
Only 8 years. After all, Mother, you've been writing plays for 8 years. We started about the same time, didn't we?
Yes, but you shouldn't count my first 2 years because I was studying to type.
I think those candies are hardening up now, Miss Essie.
Oh, thanks, Rita. Mother, I'll bring some in for you. I want you to try it.
Finishing the second act, Mrs. Sycamore?
What?
I said, did you finish the second act?
Oh, no, Reba. I just got Cynthia entered the monastery.
Wasn't she at the Kit Kat?
Well, she gets tired of the Kit Kat Club, and there's this monastery, so she goes there.
Oh, did they let her in?
Yes, I made it Visitor's Day, so of course anybody can come.
Oh.
So, she arrives on Visitor's Day, and just stays.
Did she stay all night?
Oh, yes. She stays 6 years.
6 years? My, I bet she bust that monastery door wide open.
6 years.
Mr. Penna!
Yeah!
Mr. Penna, will you bring up one of those new skyrockets? I want to show them to Mrs. Sycamore.
Sure!
Oh, Penny, check it out. We made these new firecrackers. We're going to sell them for 10 strings a set. Listen. Pretty good, huh?
Yes. Paul, dear, were you ever in the monastery?
No. Oh, wait till you see the new skyrockets. First gold stars, then blue stars, then bombs, and then a balloon. Mr. Penna thought of the balloon.
Sounds lovely. Did you do all that today?
Oh, sure. We made up, oh, here we are. Check it out, Penny. Costs us 30 cents to make, and we'll sell them for 50. How many do you figure we can make before the 4th of July, Mr. Penna?
Well, we've got 2 weeks yet. What day you planning to take the stuff up to Mount Vernon?
Yeah, about a week. You know, we're gonna need a bigger booth this year. Got a lot of stuff made up. Come on, we're not through yet.
Look, Mr. Sycamore, I'm afraid the bomb is just a little too close to the balloon.
Well, we got the stars and the bombs in between.
But that'll give the balloon time enough. Balloon needs plenty of time.
Come on, let's go down to the cellar and try it.
All right.
Mrs. Capetta, if a guy you loved entered a monastery, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know, Mrs. Sycamore. It's been so long.
Is Miss Alice going to be able for dinner tonight, Mrs. Sycamore?
What? Oh, I don't know, Reba. Maybe.
Well, I'll set a place for her, because she's only been home one night this week.
Yes, I know.
Let's see. 6, and the Mrs. Penna stays, and the Mrs. Cohencock comes. That makes 8, doesn't it? Yes, I better set for 8.
Reba, I think I'll put this play away for a while and go back to the war.
Ooh, the war play! I've always liked that one. Boom, boom.
Oh, they look lovely. What do you call them?
People call them love dreams.
Yes, that's nice. I'm going back to my work play, Essie. What do you think?
Oh, are you, Mother?
Yes. Sort of got myself stuck in a monastery and I can't get out.
Oh, well, it'll come to you. Remember how you got yourself out of that problem? The snakes look hungry. Did Reba feed them?
I don't know. Reba, did you feed the snakes yet?
Not yet. Dawn on her way home, and she usually brings flies with her.
Well, try to feed them before Grandma gets home. You know how fussy she is about them.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe I'll have another love dream.
Mr. Penna was right about the balloon. It's too close to the powder chamber.
Want a love dream, Father?
Oh, no thanks. I gotta wash.
I'm going back to the work play, Paul.
Oh, that's nice. We're putting red stars before the bomb, then the balloon. That ought to do the trick.
You know, Mrs. Kolenkoff said I'm her most promising pupil.
You think with 40 months and one girl that something would happen.
Essie! Hey, Essie! No, Beethoven.
Lovely. Got a lot of you in it. I made it for new candies this afternoon, Ed.
Yeah?
You can take them around tonight.
All right. Now here's the finish. This is me. How's that?
Fine, Ed. Remember when Miss Cohencock comes, will you?
Ed here? Why don't you and Essie have a baby? I was thinking about it just the other day.
I don't know. We could have one if you wanted us to. What about it, Essie? Do you want to have a baby?
Oh, I don't care. I'm wheeling if Grandma is.
Let's ask her.
We would play religious play, romance play, monster songs.
I was right about the balloon. It was too close to the powder.
Anything you want printed, Mrs. DePena? How about some more calling cards?
No thanks. I've still got the first 1,000.
Well, call on somebody, will you?
Right.
What's for dinner, Reba? I'm ready to print the menu.
Let's see. Cabbage, some mixed fruit, some of these candies that Miss Essie made, and some type of meat. I forget.
I think I'll print it up in boldface tonight. You know, if I'm gonna take those new candies around, I'd better print up some descriptive matter after dinner.
Do you think anybody eats those things, Ed, that you put in the candy boxes? Oh, here's the wordplay. Poison gas. I guess that's Donna. Look at Reba smile.
The sister, eh, Reba?
Hello, Reba. Evening, everybody.
Hi, Donna. How's you been?
Pretty good, Mr. Ed. How you been, Mrs. Moore?
Oh, very well, thank you. Donna,
Yes, ma'am.
you ever in a monastery?
No.
Yes, of course.
You hear the flies, Reba. Got a lot today.
Wow! You sure did.
I see you've been working, Mrs. Moore.
Yes, indeed, Donna.
How's Grandma?
Just fine. She's over at Columbia this afternoon, the commencement exercises.
My. Years certainly do roll by.
M-E-A-T. What's you go out there for all the time, Penny?
I don't know. It's so handy to be just around the corner.
Oh, Donna, Miss DePena, Reba, and I, we were going to go up to Mount Vernon next week to bring the fireworks up there. You think you can join us?
Yes, sir.
Great. And Ed, I was in the bathroom just now, reading Trotsky. It's yours, right?
Yeah, I left it there.
Who is it?
You know, Trotsky, the Russian Revolution.
Oh,
Anyway, it struck me how great of a fireworks idea it would have been. Remember the last days of Pompeii?
oh yes, Palisades Park. That's where we met.
Well, I'm going to do the revolution, a full hour display.
Hey.
Oh, that's wonderful.
The red fire is the flag, huh?
Sure, and the Tsar and the Cossacks, the Russian Revolution. Oh, hello, Grandma.
Well, sir, you should have been there. That's all I can say. You should have been there.
Was it a nice commencement, Grandma?
Wonderful. They get better every year. You don't know how lucky you are, you're snakes.
Big class this year, Grandma. How many were there?
Oh, must have been 2 acres. Everybody graduated. Yes, sir. And much funnier speeches than they had last year.
You want to hear a good speech? You go up and listen to Father Divine.
I'll wait. They'll have him at Columbia.
Donna, will you tell Reba Grandma's home now and he won't wait for this hours?
Yeah. Reba! Grandma's home! We can have dinner!
Oh, Grandma, we made a new skyrocket today. Wait till you see it.
Evening, Grandma.
Evening, Mrs. DePena.
Didn't we make a fine rocket today, Miss DePena?
You certainly did.
Wonder why they don't have fireworks at commencements.
Don't make enough noise. You take a good commencement orator and he'll drown out a whole carload of fireworks. And say just as much too.
Don't the graduates ever say anything?
No, they just sit there in cap and nightgown, get their diplomas. And then along about 40 years from now, they suddenly say, where am I?
Hello, Grandma. Have a nice day.
Hello, have a nice day. Don't I even get kids?
Excuse me, Grandma.
I'll take a pepper, too. You know, I could have used a couple of these this afternoon.
Father?
Oh, no thanks.
Mother?
No thanks, dear.
Play something, Ed.
All right.
There was a letter that came for you, Grandma. Did you get it?
front. Did you notice?
Yes, it was on the outside.
Well, who was it?
The United States government.
Really? I wonder what they wanted.
There was one before that too, from the same people. There were a couple of them.
Well, if any more come, I wish you'd give them to me.
Yes, Grandma.
I think I'll go out to Westchester tomorrow and do a little snake hunting.
God is the state. The state is God.
What's that?
God is the state and the state is God.
Who says that?
Trotsky.
Oh, well, that's all right. I thought you said it.
It's nice for printing, you know. Good and short. G-O-D space I-S space T-H-E.
And so the beautiful princess came into the palace and kissed her mother and her father and her grandmother.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Grandma. And what do you think? They turned into the Sycamore family. Surprised? Oh, Alice, I like it. Do you? It's new, isn't it?
Looks nice and summery.
Where'd you get it? Oh, I took a walk during lunch hour.
You've been taking a lot of walks lately. That's the second new dress this week.
I just like to brighten up the office once in a while. I'm known as the Kate Francis of Kirby & Co. Well, what's new around here? In the way of plays, snakes, ballet dancing, or fireworks? Dad, I'll be even down in that cellar all day.
Huh?
I'm going back to the war play, Alice.
Really, Mother? Ed, play Alice that Beethoven thing you wrote.
You know, you can mail a letter all the way from Nicaragua now for 2 pesetas.
Really?
Hey, my life is a priceless thing today!
Listen, people, listen. I won't be home to dinner. A young gentleman is calling for me. Really? Who is it?
Well, isn't that nice?
I've done everything I can to keep him from coming here, but he's calling for me.
Why don't you both stay to dinner?
No, I want him to take you in easy doses. I try to prepare him a little, but don't make it any worse than it can help. Don't read him any plays, Mother, and don't let a snake bite him, Grandma, because I like him. And I wouldn't dance for him, Bessie, because we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
Can't do anything. Who is he? President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President of Kirby & Co. Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr., the boss's son.
Well,
The boss's son, just like the movies. That explains the new dresses.
And not being home to dinner for 3 weeks.
Why, Sherlock Holmes.
are we going to marry him?
Oh, of course, tonight. Meanwhile, I have to go up and put on my wedding dress. Is he good looking? Yes, in a word. Oh dear, what time is it?
I don't know. Anybody know what time it is?
Mr. Penna might know.
It was 5 o'clock a couple of hours ago.
Oh, I ought to know better than to ask you people. Will you let me know the minute he comes, please?
Of course, Alice.
Yes, I know, but I mean the minute he comes.
Why, of course.
Well, be sure.
Well, what do you think of that?
She seems happy if you ask me.
I should say so. She's got it bad.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if she married him? We can have the wedding right in this room!
Now, Penny, this is the first time that he's called for her.
You only called for me once.
Young people are different nowadays.
Oh, I don't know. Look at Eddie. He came to dinner once and just stayed.
Anyhow, I think it's wonderful. Don't you, Grandma?
She certainly seems happy about it.
He must be crazy about her. Maybe he's the one who's taking her out every night. There he is! Never mind, Reba, I'll answer it! Now remember what Alice said, and be very nice to him.
All right, let's take a look at him.
Well, welcome to our little home.
How do you do?
I'm Alice's mother. You come right in. Here we are. This is Grandma. That's Alice's father, and Alice's sister, and her husband, Ed Carmichael. Well, now give me your hat and make yourself right at home.
I'm afraid you must be making a mistake.
How's that?
My car.
Wilma C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right.
What
can we do for you?
Does Mrs. Martha Vanderhoff live here?
Yes, ma'am, that's me.
Well, Mrs. Vanderhoff, the government wants to talk to you about a little matter of income tax.
Income tax?
You mind if I sit down?
No, go right ahead.
Thank you. Mother? Is that Mr. Kirby?
No, it isn't, darling. It's an internal something or other.
Mr. Sycamore! Oh, excuse me.
What is it?
These things are not going up. Look.
Not here. Grandma's busy. No, go. Pardon me.
Now, Mrs. Vanderhoff, we've written you several letters about this, but have not had any reply.
Oh, that's what those letters were.
I told you they're from the government. According to our records, you have never paid an income tax.
That's right.
Why not?
I don't believe in it.
You own property, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you receive a yearly income from it.
I do.
Between $3,000 and $4,000?
About that.
You've been receiving it for years.
I have 1901 if you want the exact date.
Well, the government's only concerned from 1914 on. That's when income tax started.
Well,
Well, it seems, Mrs. Vanderhoff, that you owe the government 24 years back in income tax.
Wait a minute, you can't go back that far. It's outlawed.
What's your name?
What difference does that make?
Ever filed an income tax return?
No, ma'am.
What was your income last year?
$28.50, right, Essie?
Yes, sir. If you please. Now, Mrs. Vanderhoff, do you know there's quite a penalty for not filing an income tax return?
Penalty?
look, Mrs. Henderson, let me ask you something.
Well,
Suppose I pay you this money. Mind you, I'm not saying I'm going to pay it, but just for the sake of argument, what's the government going to do with it?
how do you mean?
Well, what do I get for my money? If I go into Macy's and buy something, there it is. I see it. What's the government going to give me?
Why, the government gives you everything. It protects you.
What from?
Well, invasion. Foreigners that might come over here and take everything you've got.
I don't think they're going to do that.
If you didn't pay an income tax, they would. How do you think the government keeps up the Army and the Navy? All those battleships?
The last time we used battleships was the Spanish-American War. And what did we get out of that? Cuba. And we gave that back. I wouldn't mind paying if it were something sensible.
Sensible. Well, what about Congress and the Supreme Court and the President? You gotta pay them, don't we?
Not with my money. No, ma'am.
Now wait a minute. I did not come here to argue with you. All I know is that you haven't paid an income tax and you've got to pay it.
They've got to show me.
We don't have to show you. I just told you. All those buildings down in Washington, in interstate commerce, in the Constitution.
The Constitution was paid for long ago. And interstate commerce? What is interstate commerce anyhow?
There are 48 states, see? If there were interstate commerce, nothing could go from one state to another, see?
Why not? They got fences?
No, they don't got fences. They've got laws. My goodness, I've never come across anything like this before.
Well, I might pay about $75, but that's all it's worth.
You'll pay every cent of it like everybody else.
Listen, Essie, listen to this a minute.
And let me tell you something else. You'll go to jail if you don't pay. Do you hear that? That's the law. And if you think you're bigger than the law, you got another thing coming. You're no better than anybody else, and the sooner you get that through your head, the better. You'll hear it from the United States government. That's all I can say.
Look out for those snakes.
Good day!
How's that?
Fine, Ed.
How'd you folks like the sound of that?
I liked it.
My goodness, she was mad, wasn't she?
Oh, it's not her fault. It's just the whole thing's so silly.
She forgot her hat.
Say, what size is that hat?
I believe it's about 7 1/8.
Just right for me.
Who was that lady anyway?
This must be Mr. Kirby. I better make sure this time. How do you do? Now, I'm Alice's mother, and that's Mr. Sycamore, and Alice's grandmother, and her sister Essie, and Essie's husband. There! Now you know all of us, Mr. Kirby. Now give me your hat and make yourself right at home.
Thank you.
Is that Mr. Kirby, Mother?
Yes, Alice, it is. He's lovely.
I'll be right down.
Do sit down, Mr. Kirby.
Thank you. I hope I'm not keeping you from dinner.
No, no. Have a pepper?
No, thank you.
How about a piece of candy?
No, thanks.
Oh, I forgot to introduce Mrs. DePenna. This is Mrs. DePenna, Mr. Kirby.
Wasn't I reading about your father in the newspaper the other day? Didn't he get indicted or something?
Hardly that. He just testified before the Securities Commission.
Yes, of course. I'm sure there was nothing crooked about it, Mrs. DePenna. As a matter of fact, Alice has often told us what a lovely man your father is.
Well, I know Father couldn't get along without Alice. She knows more about the business than any of us.
You're awful young, Mr. Kirby. Aren't you to be vice president of a big place like that?
Well, you know what that means, Vice President. All I have is a desk with my name on it.
Is that all? Don't you get any salary?
Well, a little. More than I was hungry.
Now you're just being modest.
Seems kind of dull to me. Wall Street. Do you like it?
Well, the hours are short, and I haven't been there very long.
Just out of college, huh?
Yeah, I sort of knocked around for a while first, just sort of had fun.
What did you do? Travel?
And for a while, then I went to Cambridge for a year.
England?
That's right.
Say, what's an English commencement like? Did you see any?
Oh, very impressive.
They are, huh?
Anyhow, now the fun's over and facing the real world.
Well, you're certainly off to a good start, Mr. Kirby. Vice President and a rich father.
Well, that's probably my fault.
So now I suppose you're all ready to now make it.
Now, Penny, I'm sure what was your name again? Christy knows his own mind.
Well, I wasn't making up his mind for him. Was I, Mr. Kirby?
That's all right.
You see?
You mustn't rush him, Mother.
Well, all I'm saying is he's bound to get married. And suppose the wrong girl gets him?
Well, here I am, a vision in blue. Apparently you've had time to get acquainted.
Oh, yes, indeed. We were just having a delightful talk about love and marriage.
Oh dear. I'm sorry, I came down as quick as I could.
I didn't mind in the least.
Oh, Miss Alice, you look beautiful. Where are you going?
I'm going out, Rita. That must be cold and cough. I think we better go, Tony.
All right.
Grandma! Do you take cream on your cornflakes? I forget!
Half and half, Donna! Oh, my Babishka!
Mrs. Colcock.
Yes, that's Colin Cop, all right.
Good evening, everybody!
Good evening, Mrs. Kollenkoff.
Grandma, what do you think? I had a letter from Russia. The second five-year plan is a failure.
I practiced today, Mrs. Kollenkoff.
Might have loved
If you'll excuse us, Mrs. Kollenkoff.
my little Alice! Never have I seen you look so magnificent.
Thank you, Mrs. Kollenkoff. Tony, this is Mrs. Kollenkoff, Essie's dancing teacher. Mr. Kirby.
How do you do?
How do you do?
If you'll pardon us, Mrs. Kollenkoff, we are going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
The Monte Carlo Ballet? It stinks!
Yes, well, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Monte Carlo Ballet.
Isn't Mr. Kirby lovely? Come on, everybody, dinner's ready.
I thought you sounded nice, didn't you?
And so good looking.
And he has such nice manners. Did you notice, Paul? Did you notice his manners?
I sure did. You were getting pretty personal with him there.
Now, Paul, anyhow, he's a very nice young man.
Reminds me of a cousin of mine. But the ballet. Then you have the ballet.
I think if they get married here, I'll put the altar right where the snakes are. Oh, you wouldn't mind, Grandma, would you?
Not if the snakes don't.
Oh, no, they'll want to get married in a church. His family and everything.
Quiet, everybody, quiet. Well, sir, we've been getting along pretty good for quite a while now, and we're certainly much obliged. Remember, all we ask is to go along and be happy in our own sort of way. Of course, we want to keep our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you. So the second 5-year plan is a failure, eh, Colin John? Right, eventually.
Oh, I can see them dance every night of the week. I think they're marvelous.
They are, aren't they? But of course, just walking inside any theater gives me a thrill.
Well, it's been so lovely, Tony. I hate to have it over.
Oh, is it over? Do I have to go right away?
Not if you don't want to.
I don't.
Would you like a cold drink?
Wonderful.
Would you like to come along?
Oh, I'd follow you to the ends of the earth.
Just the kitchen is enough.
Why, I like it. You've done it very simply, haven't you?
Yes, we don't know whether to do Empire or Neo-Grecian.
So you settled for Frigidaire?
Yes, it's so easy to live with. Luckily, you're not hungry, Mr. Kelly. And I'm sauce full of cornflakes. That gives you a rough idea of the sycamores.
I never did. I love my place.
I'll take it out of your glass if you don't mind.
Hey, what? A phone?
Anyhow, it's cold.
Yeah. If you please be seated, I'd like to offer a toast.
We are seated.
Miss Sycamore, to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. To you.
You know something?
What?
I wouldn't trade 1 minute of this evening for all the rice in China.
Really?
Cross my heart.
Is there much rice in China?
Oh, terrific. Didn't you read the good? I suppose I
Is it very late?
Very. I don't want to go.
I don't want you to.
All right, I'll stay. When do you get your vacation?
Last 2 weeks in August.
I might take mine too.
Really?
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I hadn't thought much about it.
Going away, do you think?
I might not. I like the city in the summertime.
I do too.
But you always go up to Maine, don't you?
Yes. Oh, but I'm sure I would like to see it in the summertime. Oh, you know what I mean, Alice. I'd love it if you were here.
I'd love it if you were here, Tony.
You know what you're saying, don't you?
What?
That you gotta spend the summer with me and with anyone else?
Was I?
Well, if it's true about the summer, then how would you feel about the winter?
Yes, I like that too.
And then the spring, autumn? If you could see your way clear about those, Miss Seymour.
I might.
Well,
Is that you, Alice? What time is it? Oh. Excuse me, Mr. Kirby. I had no idea. That is, I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
not at all, Mrs. Seymour.
No, Mother. I just came down for a manuscript. Then you can go right ahead. Ah, here it is. Grace takes a holiday. Well, good night, Tony.
Good night, Mrs. Seymour.
Oh, I think you can call me Penny. Don't you, Alice? At least I hope so.
What's that?
That's all right, Tony. That's just Father.
This time of night?
Any time of night. Any time of day.
No more people, more lovely, more adorable than anyone else in the whole world.
Don't, Tony.
Not here. It's just because your mother, all mothers are like that, Alice. And it's a darling. You see, you're moving on your head.
I don't mean that. something I should have told you a long time ago, but I didn't have the courage. I let myself be swept away because I loved you so.
Darling.
No, wait, Tony. I want to make it clear to you. You're of a whole different world, a completely different kind of people. I don't mean money or socially. That's too silly. But your family and mine, it just wouldn't work, Tony. It just wouldn't work.
All right, have it your way. She can't dance. That's why they paid her all that money, because she can't dance.
Well, I don't call that dancing what she does. Oh, hello. How was the ballet? It was fine, Essie.
Wonderful.
Hello there.
Hello.
Look, what do you people think? Ed and I just saw Try to Stare at Ginger Rogers. Do you think she can dance, Mr. Kirby?
Why, yes, I always thought so.
What does she do anyhow? Now look, your friend stared and I'm Ginger Rogers. Essie, please! I want to talk to you some for a minute. Now look, Mr. Kirby. Essie, you're just as good as Ginger Rogers. We all agree. You see, Ed?
Yeah. Come on, Essie, we're betting in here.
Oh, it is gonna eat me. Good night, Mr. Kirby. Good night, Alex.
Good night, Mrs. Camargo.
Good night. Essie, did you ask Grandma about us having a baby?
Oh yes, she said to go right ahead. Now do you see? That's what it would be like.
Anyhow, it's not like we're gonna live with your family. It's just you and I.
It's never quite that. I love them, Tony. I love them deeply. Some people could break away, but I couldn't. I know they do rather strange things, but they're gay and they're fun. I don't know. There's a sort of nobility about them.
Alice, you talk as though only you can understand them. Why, that's not true. Everybody's got a family. What of it? My father, he raises orchids at $10,000 a bulb. Is that sensible? My mother, she believes in spiritualism. That's just as bad as your mother writing plays, isn't it?
Your mother believes in spiritualism because it's fashionable, and your father raises orchids because he can afford to. My mother writes plays because 8 years ago a typewriter was delivered here by mistake. and look at Grandma! 35 years ago, she just quit business one day. She started up to her office in the elevator and came right back down again. She just stopped. She could have been a rich woman, but she said it took too much time. So for 35 years, she's just collected snakes and gone to circuses and commencements. It never occurs to any of them.
Hello there, children.
Hello, Grandma.
Good evening, Mrs. Vanderhoff.
How's the weather? Seems like a nice summer evening.
Oh, it's lovely, Grandma.
Well, I'm off. Goodbye, Mr. Kirby. I've got a date with the policeman on the corner.
The policeman?
We've got a standing date. 12:30 every night. Known him since he was a little boy. He's really a doctor. But after he graduated, he came to me and said he never wanted to be a doctor. He'd always wanted to be a policeman. So I said to him, you go ahead and be a policeman if that's what you want to be. And that's what he did. How do you like my new hat?
It's very nice, Mrs. Vanderhoff.
Yeah, I like it. The government gave it to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you folk were in here. Sorry. Reba and I just want some candy, and you didn't want any, did you?
No, Donna.
Thanks. Did you have a nice evening?
Yes, Donna.
Nice dinner?
Yes, Donna.
Was the ballet nice?
Yes, Donna.
That's nice.
Now do you see what I mean? Could you explain Donna to your father? Could you explain Grandma? No, you couldn't, Tony. I love you, Tony, but I love them too. And it's no use, Tony. It's no use.
There's only one thing you said that matters. That makes any sense at all. You love me.
But Tony, I know so well.
But don't you think other people have had the same problem? Everybody's got a family.
But not like mine.
That doesn't stop people from loving each other. Won't you trust me? I'm going to love you. Forget everything else.
How can I?
Because nothing keeps us apart. You know that. You must know it. They want you to be happy, don't they? They must.
Of course they do, but I wouldn't want them to change.
They won't have to change. They're charming, lovable people just as they are. Everything will work out. I'll bring about something that will never come up.
Tony, yeah.
All that matters right now is that I'm in a relationship. That's so, isn't it? Well, now, I like to see a little gaiety around here. Young gentlemen come and getting engaged and everything.
What do I say?
Well, first, I thank the young man for getting engaged to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby, for getting engaged to me.
And then, to tell them what it was about that first signature in the shop.
The back of your head.
Huh?
The back of your head. Wasn't your charm or your money. I just liked it.
What happened when I turned around?
Oh, I got used to it after a while.
Well, think of it. We're pretty lucky, aren't we?
I know I am. I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
I'm not trying to think myself. Oh dear. I guess it's true. Here we go. Tell someone. Isn't it wonderful we work in the same office? Otherwise I'd be hanging on you all day.
Could we be flying in the office tomorrow? Seeing each other and going along so nothing had happened?
Dear God, Vice President, I can dictate to you all day. Dear Miss Signy, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Oh, darling, you're such a fool.
Why don't you meet me in the drugstore in the morning? Before you go into the office, I'll have millions of things to say to you.
All right.
And then lunch, and then dinner tomorrow night.
Tony, what will people say?
Oh, it's gonna come out sometime. You guys, if you know your good talk, I'd like to do a little shout.
Yes, sir, Mr. Penna, we did a fine night's work, didn't we?
That's what? 500 Black Panthers, 300 willow trees, and 8 dozen junior kitty bombers.
Pretty good. Oh, hello, Alice. Did you just get in?
No, Father. I've been home for quite a while.
Oh, have a nice evening?
Oh, I had a beautiful evening, Father.
Oh, say, I'd like you to check out this new red fire. Mr. Penna, will you turn off the lights on the house here full effect?
What, Father?
Check out this new red fire. Beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, yes, Father. It's beautiful. Everything's beautiful. It's the most beautiful red fire in the world.
I'm ready to read you the new play, Miss Wellington, anytime that you are.
Just a minute, dearie. Just a minute.
The only thing is, I hope you don't mind my mentioning this, but you don't drink when you're acting, do you, Miss Wellington? I'm just asking, of course.
I'm glad that you asked. Once a play opens, I never touch a drop. Minute I enter a stage door, the bottle gets put away. Until intermission.
Have you been on the stage a long time, Miss Wellington?
All my life, ever seen Pego My Heart?
Yes.
I saw it too. Good joke. My, hot night, ain't it?
Do you want me to open a window, Miss Wellington?
No. Say, she's cute.
She's just joking, Reba, that's all.
Well, anytime that you're ready, we'll go up to my room and start. I thought I'd read the play up in my room.
I'm ready, dearie. When I see snakes, it's time to lie down.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, but those are real, Mrs. Wellington. They're grandma's, those are real. Oh dear, I hope she's not going to...
She's out like a light.
Better let her sleep it off.
Reba, I think Miss Wellington just passed out.
Good. Do you think she'll be all right?
Yes, but I wouldn't cast her in the religious play.
Well, I suppose I'll just have to wait.
The next time you meet an actress on the top of a bus, Penny, I think I'd send her the script instead of bringing her home to read it.
Ed, I'd wish you stopped printing Take Those Love Dreams around. You got to get back in time to play for me when Kolenkopf comes.
Kolenkopf coming tonight?
Yes, tomorrow night is her night, but I change on account of Alice.
Oh, big doings around here tomorrow night, huh?
Isn't it exciting? You know, I'm so nervous. You think it was me he was engaged to instead of Alice.
What do you think they'll be like, his mother and father? Ed, what are you doing now?
Look, Penny, did you see the new mask I made last night? Guess who it is?
Don't tell me now, Ed. Wait a minute. Helen of Troy.
It's Mrs. Roosevelt.
You know, the nice thing about these Misano sets is that you can make anything out of it. Last week it was the Empire State Building.
What is it this week?
Queen there.
Hasn't got the right hat on.
Look, Mr. Penna, would you open up the door and see if there's a man standing in front of the house?
Why? What for?
Well, the past few nights when I've been out delivering candy, I think a man's been following me.
Ed, you're crazy.
No, I'm not. He follows me and he stands and watches the house.
Really? I'll take a look and see.
I don't see what anybody would want to follow you for, Ed.
Well, there's a lot of kidnapping going on, Grandma.
Yes, but not of Ed.
Well, did you see him?
There's nobody out there at all.
You're sure?
Positive. I just saw him walk away.
You see?
Oh, it could have been anyone walking on the streets. Ed, will you hurry and get back?
Oh, all right.
Once you go down there, Mr. Sycamore, finish packing up the fireworks.
Yeah, gotta take the stuff up to Mount Vernon in the morning.
Mother, may I borrow some paper? I'm making out lists for Reba for tomorrow night.
Yes, dear. Here, son.
Why, what happened to your actress friend? Is she giving a performance?
No, she's not acting, Alice. She's really drunk.
Essie, dear, you're going to give Reba the kitchen the whole day tomorrow, right? Because she'll need it. Of course, Alice. I'm going to start some love dreams now, so I'll be way ahead. Thanks, dear. All right, Mother. I'm coming home at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Will you have everything down in the cellar by then? The typewriter, and snakes, and the recorder, and the calligraphy pen.
And Miss Wellington.
And Miss Flemington. That'll give me enough time to arrange the table and fix the flowers.
The Kirby's are certainly going to get the wrong impression of this house.
Don't fool about it. Won't you, Mother?
Of course, dear.
And I think you better have cocktails ready by 7:15 in case they come early. Oh, I wonder if I ought to let Reba cook the dinner. Grandma, what do you think?
Now, Alice, I wouldn't worry. From what I've seen of the boy, I'm sure the Kirby's are very nice people. And if everything isn't so elaborate tomorrow night, that's all right too.
Oh, darling, I'm not trying to impress them or pretend we're something that we aren't. I just want everything to go off well.
No reason why it shouldn't, Alice.
We're all going to do everything we can to make it a nice party.
Oh, my darlings, I love you. You're the most wonderful family in the world. And I'm the happiest girl in the world. Like, this week, it's been so wonderful. It's been like floating. He's so wonderful, Grandma. Just seeing him, you don't know what it does to me.
Just seeing him, huh? Just seeing him for lunch and dinner and until 4 o'clock in the morning. And then 9 o'clock next morning, you're at the office again and there he is. Just seeing him, huh?
I don't care. I'm in love. Reba! Reba!
Nice, isn't it? Nice to see her so happy.
Yes, I remember when I was engaged to Paul, how happy I was. And you know, I still feel that way.
I know. Nice the way Ed and Essie get along too, isn't it?
Do you suppose Mrs. DePenna will ever marry anyone, Grandma?
Well, there's Miss Wellington to worry about too.
Dear, I wish she'd wake up. If we're going to read the play tonight.
Mrs. Sycamore! Mrs. Sycamore, look what I found! Remember?
Why, of course. It's my painting of you as the discus thrower. Look, Grandma.
I remember. Say, you've gotten a little shorter, haven't you, Mrs. DePinna?
Well, that's impossible.
It was a long time ago, just before I stopped painting. Let's see. That's 8 years.
Oh, goodness. Too bad you never finished it, Mrs. Sycamore.
I always meant to finish it, Mrs. DePenna, but I just started writing a play one day, and that was that. I never painted again.
Just as well, too. I was going to have to pose next.
My goodness. Who would have thought that 8 years ago, the day I came over, I would have stayed here that long.
The milkmaid was here for 5, just ahead of you.
That's it. Why didn't she leave anyhow? Don't forget.
She didn't leave. She died.
Yes.
She was such a nice woman. Remember the funeral, Grandma? You never knew her name, and it was kind of hard to get a certificate.
What was the name we finally made up for her anyhow?
Martha Vanderhoff. We gave her your name.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Because otherwise she never would have got all those flowers.
Certainly was. And it didn't hurt me any. I'm not bothered with mail anymore. And I haven't received a telephone call from that day to this.
Yes, it was a really wonderful idea.
I wish you'd finished it, Miss Sycamore. I kind of like to have it.
You know what, Mrs. DePenna? I think I'll do some work on it right tonight.
Say, will you?
I don't think she's going to wake up anyhow. Look, Mrs. DePenna. Down to the cellar, put on your costume, and bring up the easel. Is it still down there?
I think so. Rabishka, my Rabishka, mwah, mwah. Mrs. Collencoff.
Hello, Mrs. Kolenkoff. Essie's in the kitchen.
Madam Sycamore, I greet you. Tell me, Grandma, what should I do about Rabishka? I keep telling her she will make a great pole dancer, but she laughs only.
No, Mrs. Kolenkoff, I couldn't get up on my toes. I have bad ankles.
Rabishka, you could wear diamonds! A great girl, Grandma. What is that?
A picture of Mrs. DePenna. Penny painted it.
It stinks.
I know. How do you like that?
What is that?
She's an actress, a friend of Penny's.
She is drunk, no?
She is drunk, yes. How are you, Kolenkoff?
Magnificent! Life is chasing around inside of me like a squirrel.
Tis, huh? What's new in Russia? Any more letters from your friend in Moscow?
I have just heard from him. I sent for news this now.
Thanks, Kolenkoff.
They've sent him to Siberia.
They have, eh? How's he like it?
He's escaped. He's escaped and gone back to Moscow. He will get him yet. He said to not get him. The Soviet government. I can take over the whole Soviet government and... I'm sorry I'm late, Mrs. Kolenkoff. I'll get into my dancing clothes right away. Tonight we will really work my Pavlova. Tonight we will take something new.
Is he making any progress, Kolenkoff?
Confidentially, she stinks.
Well, as long as she's having fun.
You sure you tickle Reba, Mrs. Kolenkoff? She's laughing her head off out there.
A great woman. Nora, what do you think of the Soviet government?
What? Mrs. Kolenkoff?
I withdraw the question. What do you think of this government?
Oh. I like it fine.
Oh, yes. And you like it.
It's fine. Only thing is, sometimes you gotta wait in line near half an hour for stamps. Government ought to be run better than that. Don't you think, Grandma?
Government ought to stop sending me letters. They want me to be at the United States Marshal's office Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Look at that.
Ah, income tax. They have got you, Grandma.
Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to pay him a lot of money so as to keep Reba around.
You don't say. Are you gonna pay it?
That's what they want.
You should have been in Russia when the revolution came. Then you would have stood in line and ran in line. What have they done to Russia, Grandma? Think of it. The Grand Duchess, Olga Katerina, a cousin of the Tsar. She is a waitress in a child's restaurant. I ordered big beans from her only yesterday. Broke my heart. A crazy world, Grandma.
Oh, the world's not so crazy, Kolenkov. It's the people in it. Life's pretty simple if you just relax.
How can you relax in times like these?
Well, if they'd relax, there wouldn't be times like these. Life is kind of beautiful if you let it come to you. But the trouble is, people forget that. I know I did. I was right in the thick of it, fighting, clawing, and scratching. Regular jungle. Then one day, it just sort of struck me. I wasn't having any fun.
So you did what?
Just relaxed. 35 years ago that was. And I've been a happy woman ever since.
Good evening, Mrs. Kolenkov.
Miss Alice! I have not seen you to present my congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Kolenkov.
May you be very happy and have many children. That is my prayer for you.
That is quite a thought.
Ah, love. Love is all that is left in this world, Grandma.
Yes, but there's plenty of that.
And soon Stalin will take that away too. I tell you, Grandma.
Seems so nice to get into my art things again. They still look all right, don't they, Grandma?
Yes, indeed.
You're a breath of Paris, Madam Sycamore.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Kolenkov.
I didn't know you were working for the WPA.
Oh, no, Donna. You see, I used to paint all the time. And I just got so fascinated by it, too.
Really, that's lovely.
Yes. That's actually one of my favorite pieces.
Really? Is that Mrs. Stepena?
Yes, it is.
Interesting.
Over there? Wait, here, Mrs. Pan.
I put them where Ed.
Yes. It's been out for quite a while.
Indeed.
It happened again. There was a fellow following me every place I went.
Nonsense, Ed. It's your imagination.
No, it isn't. It happens every time I go out to deliver candy.
Maybe he wants a piece of candy.
It's all right for you to laugh, Grandma, but he keeps following me.
You do not know what following is. In Russia, everybody is followed. I was followed right down with Russia.
Of course. You see, Ed, the whole thing is just imagination.
Well, maybe.
And for tonight's lesson, we use the first movement of Scheherazade.
Okay.
Yes, Miss Wellington, yes.
Woo!
Oh, dear.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Kolenkov. I couldn't find my slippers.
We have a hot night for my Pavlova. But art is only achieved through perspiration.
Why, that's wonderful, Mrs. Kolenkov. Did you hear that, Grandma? Art is only achieved through perspiration.
Yes, but it helps if you've got a little talent with it.
You ready? We begin. Now, pirouette. Come. It's 8 years now. You can do that. At last, entrechat. No, Grandma, you cannot relax with Stalin in Russia. The Tsar relaxed, and what happened to him?
He was too late.
Mrs. Kolenkov! Mrs. Kolenkov!
If the Tsar had not relaxed, then the Grand Duchess Olga Katerina would not be selling fake things today.
Mrs. Kolenkov!
Oh, I am sorry. We go back to the pirouette.
Could you pull in your stomach, Mrs. Stepena? That's right.
A little freer with the hands. The whole body must work. And help us with the music. The music must be free.
How do you do?
How do you do? Are we too early?
No, come right in. It's perfectly all right. We're glad to see you.
Why, yes. Only we thought it was to be tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
What?
Now it's
possibly? I don't know. I thought it was tonight.
Really, Tony, this is most embarrassing.
Not at all. Why, we weren't doing a thing.
No, just a quiet evening at home.
That's all. Now, don't let it bother you. This is Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore.
How do you do?
Alice's sister, Mrs. Carmichael. Mr. Carmichael. Mrs. Kolinkoff. And Mrs. DePinna.
How do you do?
Don't mind my costume. I'll take it right off.
Mrs. DePinna, would you tell Mr. Sycamore to come right up? Tell him Mr. and Mrs. Kirby are here.
And be sure to put his pants on.
All right. Excuse me.
I'll tell Alice that you're... Alice! Alice, dear! Alice! Will you come down, dear? We've got a surprise for you. Well...
May I take your coat, Mrs. Kirby?
Well, thank you. As long as you're perfectly sure we're not...
Oh, don't be alarmed, Mrs. Kirby. They're perfectly harmless.
Thank you.
Ed, cover them.
Of course, we're so used to having him around the house.
I'm sorry, but states happen to be...
I feel very uncomfortable about this. Tony, how could you have done such a thing? It was very careless of you. Very.
Oh, now anybody can get this up, Mr. Kirby.
Penny, how about some dinner for these folks? They come for dinner, you know.
Oh, please don't bother. We're really not hungry at all.
But it's not a bit of a bother. Ed! Ed, tell Donna to run down to the A&P and take half a dozen bottles of beer and some canned salmon. Do you like canned salmon, Mr. Kirby?
Oh, please don't trouble Mrs. Sycamore. I have a little indigestion anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. How about you, Mrs. Kirby? Do you like canned salmon?
Oh, I'm quite fond of it.
You can have frankfurters if you'd rather.
Either one will do.
Well, make it frankfurters and some canned corn and Campbell's soup. Got that, Ed?
Okay.
And tell her to hurry. The A&P is just at the corner, and frankfurters don't take anything.
And this is Alice's father, Mr. Sycamore. Mr. and Mrs. Kirby.
I hope you'll forgive my ignorance. How do you do?
This is Mr. Sycamore's busiest time of the year. Just before the 4th of
Oh!
July.
Oh, darling, I'm the biggest fool in the world. I thought it was tonight.
Why, Tony, I thought you... I'm so sorry. I can't imagine why I wasn't... Have you all met each other?
Yes, indeed.
How do you do, Alice? How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
Darling, you look lovely.
Of course she does. Don't let this upset you, my dear. We've all just met a night sooner. That's all.
Of course. But I was planning such a nice party tomorrow night.
Well, we'll come again tomorrow night.
There you are, Alice. Am I forgiven?
I guess so. It's just... We'd better see about getting you some dinner.
Oh, that's all done, Alice. That's all been attended to.
But, Mother, what did you send out for? Because Mr. Kirby suffers from indigestion and he can only eat certain things.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
Of course it is, Alice. It's all right.
I asked him what he wanted, Alice.
Yes, but...
No, it's not as serious as all that. Just because of a little indigestion.
Perhaps it is not indigestion at all, Mr. Kirby. Perhaps you have stomach ulcer.
Don't be absurd, Mrs. Kolnikov.
You mustn't mind Mrs. Kolinkoff, Mr. Kirby. She's a Russian, and Russians are inclined to look on the dark side.
All right, I am Russian, but my friend, a Russian, died of stomach ulcer.
Really,
Please, Mrs. Kolnikov. Mr. Kirby has indigestion, and that's all.
All right, let him wait.
Do sit down, Mr. Kirby. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
Well,
Tell me, Mr. Kirby, how do you find business conditions? Are we pretty well out of the depression?
Yes, I think so. Of course it all depends.
But you figure that things are going to keep on improving.
Broadly speaking, yes. As a matter of fact, conditions not operating at 6% of capacity. It gives 82% negative 85. Of course,
That may seem a little strange to you people, but she's not quite accountable for her actions. A friend of Miss Sycamore's, she came over for dinner and was overcome by the heat.
Yes, some people feel it. No, more than others. Perhaps I'd better see if she's all. Excuse me, please.
It is awfully hot. You usually escape all this hot weather, don't you, Mrs. Kirby? Up in Maine? As a rule. I came down this week, however, for the flower show.
Mother wouldn't miss that for the world. Daphne Ribbon's the high spot every year.
I won a ribbon at the flower show once, raising onions. Remember, Alice? That was a garden show, Essie.
Yes. I think she'll be all right now. Has Donna come back yet?
No, she hasn't.
Well, she'll be right back. And it won't take any time at all. I'm afraid you must be sorry.
oh no, quite all right. Hello, what's this? I didn't know there were little children in the house.
Oh no, that's mine.
Really? I suppose every man has his hobby, or do you use it as a model of some kind?
No, I just play with it sometimes.
I see.
Wouldn't you be better off if you had a hobby like that, Dad, instead of raising orchids?
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, do tell us all about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. Did you know they take 6 years to blossom? Think of that.
Oh, some of them take longer than that. You've got one coming along now that I waited 10 years for.
Believe it or not, I was waiting for an orchid.
Yes, of course, during that time, there was quite a scrupulous care. I remember what I was very fond of.
Donna!
Ah, here we are. Did you get everything, Donna?
Yes, but they didn't have any frankfurters, so I got pickled pig's feet.
Never mind that, Donna. Just take everything into the kitchen. Please tell them all about the orchids, Mr. Kirby. I'm sure they'd love to hear it. Excuse me.
Kind of an expensive hobby, isn't it, Mr. Kirby? Raising orchids?
Yes, it is. But I feel that the hobby gives one sufficient pleasure. It is never expensive.
That's very true.
You see, I need something to relieve the daily no strain. After a week in Maltry, I go crazy if I can have something like that. Alamedano have yachts for that very reason.
Why don't they give up Wall Street?
How's that?
I was just joking.
I think it's important for everyone to have a hobby. Of course, to me, it's more than a hobby, but my great solace is spiritualism.
Spiritualism? Now, Mrs. Kirby, everybody knows that's a fake.
To me, Mrs. Sycamore, spiritualism is, well, I'd rather not discuss it, Mrs. Sycamore.
Now, Penny, you have one or two hobbies of your own, don't you?
Yes, but not silly ones.
I don't think it matters what the hobby is. The important thing is to have one.
To be ideal, a hobby must improve the body as well as the mind. The Romans were a great people. Why? What was their hobby? Wrestling. In wrestling, you have to think quick with the mind and act quick with the body.
Yes, but I'm afraid wrestling is not very practical for the most of us. I want to make a very good showing as a wrestler.
You can make a great wrestler. You're built for it. Look.
Here we are, Mr. Kirby. I'm afraid they're broken.
Oh, I am sorry. But when you wrestle again, Mr. Kirby, you will of course not wear glasses.
I do not intend to wrestle again, Mrs. Goldenhoff.
How could you do such a thing, Mrs. Kolenkoff? Why didn't anybody stop her? I think perhaps it's time we better be going.
Mother!
No, please, Mrs. Kirby, please stay. I've ordered some scrambled eggs for you, Mr. Kirby, and please salad. Oh, please don't go.
I am sorry if I have done something wrong, and I apologize.
I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Kirby. If I've been here,
That's quite all right.
Of course it is, Alice. It's all right. We're not going.
Wow, that was exciting for a minute, wasn't it?
You weren't talking about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. Do you raise many different varieties?
I've quite forgotten about my orchids.
I can't tell you how sorry I am, Mr. Kirby.
What did I do? That was so terrible! I threw him to the floor!
That's enough, Mrs. Kolenkov.
I'm sure dinner won't be any time at all now.
Would you like some candy while you're waiting, Mr. Kirby? I've got some fresh today.
My doctor does not recommend you to candy. Thank you.
But these are nothing. It's just coconut and marshmallow and fudge.
Don't, Essie!
Miss Alice! Miss Alice! What is it, Rita? The eggs fell down the sink. Well, make some more, quick! We don't have any. Then send Dawn out for some. All right, and tell her to hurry. I'm sorry. It'll just be a moment, Mom.
I've certainly put you people through a lot of trouble with my stupidity.
Not at all, Tony.
Look, why don't we all play a game of some sort while we're waiting?
Oh, that'd be fine.
Mother, I don't think Mr.
Ah! Have an idea. I know a wonderful trick with a glass of water.
Oh, but I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Kirby would love this game. It's perfectly harmless.
Please, Mother.
I'm not very good at games, Mrs. Sycamore.
Oh, but any fool could play this game, Mr. Kirby. All you do is write down your name on a piece of paper.
Mother, Mr. and Mrs. Kirby don't.
Oh, he'll love it. Here you are, Mr. Kirby. Write down your name on this piece of paper. And Mrs. Kirby, you do the same on this one.
Mother, what is this game?
Oh, I used to play it at school. It's called Forget-Me-Not. Now, I'm going to call out 5 words, just anything at all. As I say each word, you're to put down the first thing that comes into your mind. Is that clear? For instance, if I say grass, you might put down green. So everyone can put C. Or if I say chair, you might put down table. It shows the reactions people have to different things. You see how simple it is, Mr. Kirby?
Come on, Father, be a sport.
Very well, I shall be happy to play.
You see, Alice, he does want to play. Well, now then, everybody ready?
Ready?
Now remember, you must play fair. Put down the first thing that comes into your mind.
I understand.
All ready? The first word is potatoes. Potatoes. Ready for the next one? Bathroom.
Mother!
Bathroom. Got that?
Go ahead.
All ready? Lust.
Mother, this is not exactly what you say here.
Oh, nonsense, Alice. That word's all right.
Mother, it's not all right.
I don't know. It seems like a perfectly fair word to me.
You see, now you must interrupt the game.
May I have the last word again, please?
Lust, Mr. Kirby.
Got it.
This is quite a game, isn't it?
Shh, Grandma. All right. Then the next word is honeymoon. Now, Essie. All right. The last word is bedroom.
Mother!
Everybody got a bedroom? All right. Now give me all the papers.
What happens now?
Oh, this is the best part. Now, I read your reactions.
I was seeing you. This is really quite an interesting game.
Oh, I knew you'd like it. I'll read your paper first, Mr. Kirby. I'm going to read Mr. Kirby's paper first. Listen, everybody. This is Mr. Kirby. Potatoes, steak. That's very good. You see how they go together? Steak and potatoes.
I just so happened to think of it.
It's very good. Bathroom, toothpaste. Well, lust, unlawful. Isn't that nice? Honeymoon, trick. Yes. And bedroom, pillow. Yes, of course.
Just a game, you know? It's sort of an experiment in psychology, isn't it?
It is. It shows just how your mind works. Now we'll see how Mrs. Kirby's mind works. Everybody ready? This is Mrs. Kirby. Potatoes, Mrs. Kirby. Mm-hmm. Oh, dear. Bathroom, Mr. Kirby.
What's that?
Bathroom, Mr. Kirby.
I don't quite follow that.
Oh, I don't know. I just thought of you in connection with it. After all, you are in there a great deal of time, Anthony. Bathing and shaving, and, well, you do take a long time.
We haven't been around this subject in that matter. Go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
I think it is a silly game. We ought to stop it. Yes.
No, please go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
Where was I? Oh, yes. Lust, human.
Human, do it familiar.
What I meant, Anthony, is lust is, after all, a human emotion.
I don't agree with you. Lust is not a human emotion. This is great.
Very well, Anthony. I'm wrong. Really, it's the most pointless game. Suppose we play 20 questions? Yes.
No, I find this game rather interesting. Will you go on, Mrs. Sycamore? What was the next word?
Honeymoon.
Oh, yes. And what was Mrs. Kirby's answer?
Honeymoon. Dull.
You say dull?
What I meant was the hot springs weren't very gay that season, and well, with all those old people sitting on the porch all afternoon and nothing to do at night.
No, that's not your reaction at the time, as they call it.
Mother, this is only a game.
Very illuminating. Go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
This was all right, Mr. Kirby. Bedroom, Wall Street.
Wall Street? What do you mean by that, Mary?
I don't know what I meant by it, Anthony. Nothing.
But you must have meant something, Mary, or you wouldn't have put it down.
It's just the first thing that came into my mind, that's all.
So what does it mean? Bedroom, Wall Street.
Oh, I don't know what it means. It's just, you're always talking about Wall Street, even when... I don't know what it means. Alice, would you mind if we didn't stay for dinner? I'm afraid this game's giving me a headache. I understand, Mrs. Kirby.
Yes, possibly we better postpone the dinner, if you don't mind.
But you're coming tomorrow night, aren't you?
I'm afraid we have an engagement tomorrow night.
Perhaps we better postpone the whole affair a little while. The hot weather and...
I think we're being very ungracious, Father. Of course we'll stay to dinner. Tonight.
I have a very bad headache, Tony.
I'm come, Tony. I'm sure everyone understands.
Well, I don't. I think we ought to stay.
No, Tony.
What?
We were fools to ever think it would work. It won't. Mr. Kirby, I won't be at the office tomorrow. I won't be there at all anymore.
Alice, what are you talking about?
I'm sorry, my dear. Very sorry. Are you going to go?
Yes, Anthony.
Darling, you mustn't mind this.
Oh, but it's been very nice to have met you all.
Yes, lovely.
Are you coming, Tony?
No, Father, I'm not.
I see. Your mother and I will be waiting for you at home. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Shut up! All of you! There he is. And you! Grandma, what is this? Grandma! What's your name?
Edward Carmichael. I haven't done anything.
You haven't, huh?
This seems rather high-handed to me, officer. What's it all about?
Department of Justice.
Oh my goodness. Shaman!
Ed, what have you done?
I haven't done anything.
What's it all about?
Does Dorothy down to the cellar?
Yes, it does.
Yes?
Josephine!
Yes, ma'am.
Go down to the cellar and see what you can find.
Yes, ma'am.
I haven't done anything.
Come here, you. Ever seen these before?
They're my circulars.
You write this stuff, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
And you put them in the boxes of candy to give them to people's homes? The luxuries.
I didn't mean anything.
You did it, huh? Dynamite the Capitol, dynamite the White House, dynamite the Supreme Court. God is the state, and the state is God.
I didn't mean that. I just like to print, right, Grandma?
Now, officers, the government's in no danger from Ed. Writing's his hobby, that's all. He writes anything.
He does, eh?
I've never
You
heard of
told me
such
to
nonsense.
Let me get my pen. Let me get my pen. Shut up. You're right, Chief. They've got enough gunpowder down there to blow up the whole city.
But we only use that for...
Shut up! All your
Come on, light up.
permit.
Yeah, they kept me the same cell as the strip teaser from the burlesque show.
I was in some with Mrs. Kirby. Why, she was mad.
Mrs. Kirby and the strip teaser were partying all night.
I know a lot about Mr. Kirby in here. Anthony W. Kirby, head of Kirby & Co. 62 Wall Street, was among those apprehended, declared that he was in no way interested in manufacturing fireworks, or refused to say why he was on the premises at the time of the raid. Mr. Kirby is part of the Union Club, the Racket Club, the Harvard Club, and National Geographic Society. My.
All Richmond or Ellis or something.
I suppose after all this, Mr. Tony isn't going to marry Miss Alice.
No, it was too bad too. She should have loved him. Anyway, I don't know whether there's people that flew out the kitchen. We're partying tonight, that's for sure.
Are we going to eat it anyhow?
Well, I'm looking at it, but I don't think anybody's going to try to get excited.
I'm hungry.
Well, they aren't. We're also hard working on the Alice.
What's she gonna go away for? Where's she going?
I don't know. Mountains. And she's going to have a week, they say. We know this Alice when she gets up. Too bad. Sure is.
Not even a balloon left. Look,
How's your hand, Mrs. McKenna? Better? Yes, it's better. Is there some more olive oil out there? Yes, it's in the salad bowl. Thanks.
Well, she's going. Nothing anybody said could change her.
She isn't going to stay away long, is she, Mrs. Sycamore?
I don't know, Rita. She won't say.
Where is the house around without her?
How are you feeling, Mrs. Sycamore?
Oh, I'm all right, Donna. Just kind of upset. Perhaps if I do some more, you could have gone over.
Well, I won't bother you anymore then, Mrs. Sycamore.
She's going, Penny. No, Penny.
Can't help it, Paul. Somehow I feel it's our fault.
It's mine more than yours, Penny. All these years I've been going along, enjoying myself. Maybe I should have been thinking more about Alice.
Don't say that, Paul. You've been a wonderful father and husband, too.
No, I haven't. Maybe if I had gone and become an architect, I don't know, something she should have been proud of. I don't know. I was thinking about that all last night, looking at Mr. Kirby.
Have you been so happy, Paul?
Yes, I know, but I don't know. I'm kind of all mixed up right now.
What time is she going?
Pretty soon, about 7:30.
Patience, Tony. I'm sure you can persuade her.
But he's been trying all day. She won't listen to him.
Where is he now?
I don't know, I suppose walking around the block again? Anyhow, it doesn't matter. She won't listen to him.
Maybe Tony can catch her as she's leaving.
But it won't help.
No, I don't suppose so. I feel so sorry for Tony, too. Well, Grandma?
Now, Penny, let the girl alone.
But Grandma?
Suppose she goes to the Adirondacks. She'll be back. You can take just so much Adirondacks, and then you come home.
But it's all so terrible, Grandma.
Yes, but it has its bright sides, too.
How do you mean?
Well, Mrs. Kirby getting into the patrol wagon for one thing. And the look on her face when she and Donna had to share a cell together. I'll never forget that if I live to be 100. And I warn you people, I intend to. I've got things like that going on.
It's even worse for Mrs. Kirby. When the matron stripped her, there was a burlesque dancer there. She kept singing the strip song while Mrs. Kirby undressed.
I'll bet you Bar Harbor's going to seem pretty dull with the Kirby's this time. Need any help, Alice?
No thanks, Grandma. I'm just going to test these.
Alice here.
Now, Penny.
I'll bring the big bag down as soon as you're ready, Alice.
Thanks, Ed. Do you want to take some candy along with the tray, Alice? No thanks, Ed.
Really, Alice, you can be just as alone here as you could in the mountains. You could stay right in your room all the time.
No, Mother.
Oh, no, I didn't know I was supposed to.
Oh, I told Mrs. DePenna to tell you, Paul. Didn't she tell you?
Oh, she told me, but I forgot.
Oh, I wish I lived in a family that didn't always forget everything. That behaved the way other people's families do. I'm sick of cornflakes and Donna and everything. Why can't we be like other people? Roast beef and 2 green vegetables and doilies on the table and a place you can bring your friends to without. I'll see if I can do anything.
Tony, talk to her. She's in the kitchen.
Thanks. Alice, won't you listen to me, please?
Tony, it's no use.
Alice, you're not being fair. At least let me talk to you.
Where'd they go?
Upstairs.
She walked out the minute he came in. Knocked the olive oil right out of my hand. I'm going to smell kind of fishy.
How are you feeling, Mrs. DePenna? Hand still hurting you?
No, it's better.
Everything burnt up downstairs?
Everything. And my woman costume, too.
I told you there was a bright side to everything. All except my 24 years back income tax. I get another letter every day.
Say, what are you going to do about that, Grandma?
Well, I had a kind of idea the other day. It may not work, but I'm going to try it anyhow.
What is it?
Good evening, everybody.
Why, Mrs. Kolikoff.
Hello, Polikoff.
Forgive me. The door was open. You'll excuse my coming today. I realize you are upset.
That's all right, Mrs. Kolikoff.
I don't really need you any lessons, Mrs. Kolikoff. I don't feel up to it.
Well, I...
Oh, but do stay to dinner, Mrs. Kolikoff. We've got all that food out there and somebody's got to eat it.
I will be happy to, Madam Sycamore.
Fine.
Thank you. Now, I wonder if I know your people well enough to ask you a great favor.
Why, of course, Mrs. Kolikoff. What is it?
You've heard me talk about my friend, the Grand Duchess, Olga Katerina.
Yes.
She is a great woman, the Grand Duchess. Her cousin was the Tsar of Russia, and today she is waitress in Child's Restaurant, Times Square.
Yes, I know. If there's anything at all that we can do, Mrs. Kolikoff.
I tell you, she has not had a good meal since before the revolution.
She must be hungry.
And today, she has her day off, Thursday, and it is also the anniversary of Peter the Great, a remarkable man.
Mrs. Kolikoff, if you need me like the Grand Duchess to come to dinner, why, we'd be honored.
Oh, yes.
In the name of the Grand Duchess, I thank you.
I can't wait to meet her. Where is she now?
She's outside in the street, waiting. I will get her.
Ed, straighten your tie. Essie, your dress. How do I look?
You know, if this keeps on, I want to live to be 150.
The Grand Duchess, Olga. Your Highness, permit me to present to you Madame Sycamore, Madame Carmichael, Grandma,
Madam.
Mr. Sycamore, Mr. Carmichael, and Mrs. DePenna.
All right now, Mrs. DePenna.
Will you be seated, Your Highness?
You are most kind.
We are honored to receive you. Yes.
I am most happy to be here. How soon is dinner?
Oh, it'll be quite soon, Your Highness. Very soon.
I do not mean to be rude, but I must be back at the restaurant by 8 o'clock. I am substituting for another waitress.
I will make sure you are on time, Your Highness.
Thank you, Golden Bow. You know, Highness, I think you waited on me in Chinatown, the 72nd Street place. No, that was my sister.
The Grand Duchess Natasha.
I work in Times Square.
Quite a lot of your folks living over here now, aren't there?
Oh, yes, many. My uncle, the Grand Duke Sergei, he is an elevator man at Macy's, a very nice man. And then there is my cousin, Prince Alexis. He will not speak to the rest of us because he works at Harvey Carnegie. He is the native on the ranch.
When he was selling hot dogs at Coney Island, he was willing to talk to you.
Ah, Colin Powell, our time is coming. My sister Natasha is studying to be a manicurist. My uncle Sergei, they have promised to make floor walker. And next month, I am to be transferred to Fifth Avenue in Childs. From there, it is only a step up to Straus. And then you will see what Prince Alexis says.
I think you've got it.
You are telling me.
10 years. Every once in a while he would say the money work. But then he said, I just can't go on. I am not doing so well myself. I do not blame him. No, of course not. Would you excuse me for just a minute? Say, is it true what they say about Rasputin? Well, everyone wants to know about Rasputin. Yes, it's true what they say. And how it is said.
Your Highness, we got too much to time.
Oh, yes, I must not be late. The manager does not like me. He is a communist.
We'll hurry things up. Essie, why don't you go out into the kitchen and see if you can help Alina?
I will help too. I am a very good cook.
Oh, but Your Highness, not on your day off.
I do not mind. There is your kitchen.
Right through here. But you're the guest of honor.
Your Highness. But I love to cook. Come, Portugal. If they have that sour cream and pot cheese, I will make you all some blintzes.
Oh, Lindsay, come, my Pavlova. We show you something.
Say, that's all right, isn't she? Hey, Duchess, can I help?
Gee, she's got wonderful face for a mask, hasn't she?
Really, she's a very nice woman. Considering she's a duchess.
Wonderful what some people go through, isn't it? And still keep kind of gay, too.
She made me forget about everything the other night.
Suppose I better call that cab.
No, wait, Paul. Here they are. Maybe Tony has...
Ed, will you go up and bring my bag down?
Don't you do it, Ed.
Ed, please.
All right, Ed. Bring it down. Do you know you've got the most stubbornest daughter in all 48 states?
That must be the cab.
If it is, it's certainly wonderful service.
Oh, Mr. Kirby.
Is Tony here, Alice?
Yes. Yes, he is. Come in.
How do you do?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tony, I want you to come home with me. Your mother is very upset.
Very well, Father. Goodbye, Alice.
Goodbye, Tony.
I need hardly say that this is as painful to Mrs. Kirby and myself as it is to you people. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you understand.
Well, yes. And in a way, no. Now, I'm not the kind of person who tries to run other people's lives. But the fact is, Mr. Kirby, I don't think these two young people have got as much sense as you and I have.
Grandma, will you please not do this?
I'm only talking to Mr. Kirby, Alice. A cat can look at a king, can't she?
You want me to do that for you, Alice?
No, thanks, Mother.
You've got a while before the train arrives.
Hi, can you send a cab to 761 Claremont right away, please? That's right. Thank you.
Are you ready, Tony?
Mr. Kirby, I suppose after last night, you think this family is kind of crazy.
No, I wouldn't say that. Although I'm not accustomed to going out to dinner and spending the night in jail.
Well, you've got to remember, Mr. Kirby, you came on the wrong night. Now tonight, I'll bet you nothing will happen at all. Maybe.
Mrs. Vanderhoffen, it's really not last night I convinced Mrs. Kirby and myself that this engagement would be unwise.
Father, I can handle my own affairs. Alice, for the last time, will you marry me?
No, Tony. I know what your father's saying, and he's right.
No, he's not, Alice.
Alice, you're in love with this boy, and you're not marrying him because we're the kind of people we are.
But Grandma,
I know. You think the two families wouldn't get along. Well, maybe they wouldn't. But who says they're right and we're wrong?
I never said that. I only feel...
Well, what I feel is that Tony is too nice of a young man to wake up 20 years from now with nothing in his life but stocks and bonds.
How is that?
Yes, mixed up and unhappy. The way you are.
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Vanderhoffen. I'm a very happy man.
Are you?
Certainly, I am.
I don't think so. What do you think you get your indigestion from? Happiness? No, sir. You get it because most of your time is spent in doing things that you don't want to do.
I don't do anything I don't want to do.
Yes, you do. You said last night that after a week in Wall Street, you're pretty near crazy. Why do you keep on doing it?
Why do I keep on? Why? It's my business. A man can't give up on his business.
Why not? You've got all the money you need. You can't take it with you.
That's a very easy thing to say, Mr. Vanderhoff, but I've spent my entire life building up my business.
And what's it got you? Same kind of mail every morning, same kind of deals, same kind of meetings, same dinners at night, same indigestion. Where does the fun come in, Mr. Kirby? Don't you think there ought to be something more? You must have wanted more when you started out. We haven't got too much time, you know. Any of us.
What do you expect me to do? Live the way you do? Do nothing?
Well, I have a lot of fun. Time enough for everything. Read, talk, visit the zoo now and then, practice my aim. Even have time to notice when spring comes around. Don't see anybody I don't want to. Don't have 6 hours of things I have to do every day before I get 1 hour to do what I like in. And I haven't taken bicarbonate of soda in 35 years. What's the matter with that?
The matter with that? Suppose we all did it. A fine road we had. Everybody going to zoos. Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Vanderhoff. Who do the work?
There will always be people who like to work. You can't stop them. Inventions, and they fly the ocean. There will always be people to go down to Wall Street, too, because they like it. But from what I've seen of you, I don't think you're one of them. I think you're missing something.
I'm not aware of missing anything.
I wasn't either, till I quit. I used to get down to that office 9 o'clock sharp no matter how I felt. Lay awake at night for fear I wouldn't get that contract. Used to worry about the world, too. Got all worked up about whether Cleveland or Blaine would be elected president. Seemed awful important at the time, but who cares now? What I'm trying to say, Mr. Kirby, is that I've had 35 years that nobody can take away from me no matter what they do to the world. See?
Yes, I do see. And that's a very dangerous philosophy, Mr. Vanderhoff. It's un-American. And that's why I'm opposed to this marriage. I don't want Tony to come under its influence.
What's the matter with your father?
The matter with it, why, it's downright communism. That's what it is.
You didn't know what things were.
I most certainly did. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. You didn't always think so, because there was a time when you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Why, don't be an idiot, Tony.
Oh, yes, you did. I came across those letters you wrote to grandfather. Do you remember those?
No! How dare you use those letters? How dare you?
Why, isn't that wonderful? Did you wear tights, Mr. Kirby?
Certainly not. The whole thing is absurd. I was 14 years old at the time.
Yes, but at 18, you wanted to be a saxophone player, didn't you?
Tony.
And at 21, you ran away from home because grandfather wanted you to go into the business. It's all down there in black and white. You didn't always think so.
Well, well, well.
I may have had the silly notions in my youth, but thank God my father knocked them out of me. I went to the business and forgot about them.
You're not all together, Father. There's still a saxophone in the back of your clothes closet.
There is.
That's enough, Tony. We'll discuss this later.
No. I want to talk about it now. I think Mrs. Vanderhoff is right. Dead right. I'm never going back to that office. I've always hated it. And you want to know something else? I didn't make a mistake last night. I knew it was the wrong night. I brought you here on purpose.
Tony!
Well, for heavens!
Because I wanted to wake you up. I wanted you to see a real family as they really were. A family that loved and understood each other. You don't understand me. You never had the time. Well, I'm not making your mistake. I'm clear now.
Saying now, what do you mean?
I mean, I'm not going to be pushed into the family business just because I'm your son. I'm getting out while there's still time.
But Tony, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer. But at least I'll be doing something I want to do.
That must be the cab.
Ed, would you tell him to wait a minute?
Grandma?
Do you mind, Alice? You know, Mr. Kirby, Tony is going through just what you and I did when we were his age. I think if you listen hard enough, you can hear yourself say the same things to your father 25 years ago. We all did. And we were right. How many of us would settle when we're young for what we eventually get? All those plans we made, what happens to them? It's only a handful of the lucky ones that can look back and say they even came close. So before they clean out that closet, Mr. Kirby, I think I'd get in a few good hours on that saxophone.
I beg your pardon, but before I make sentences, how many would there be for dinner?
Your Highness, may I present Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr., the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina.
How's that?
How do you do? Before I make sentences, how many would there be for dinner?
Oh, I'd make quite a stack of them, Your Highness. Can't ever tell.
Good. The Tsar always said to me, Olga, never be stingy with sentences.
Who did you say that was, Mrs. Gentlehouse?
The Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. She's cooking the dinner.
Oh.
And speaking of dinner, Mr. Kirby, why don't you and Tony both stay?
Oh, please do, Mr. Kirby. We've got all that stuff that we were going to have last night. I mean, tonight.
Looks like it's going to be a pretty good dinner, Mr. Kirby. And it'll kind of give us a chance to get acquainted.
How about it, Father? Will we stay together?
Why, if you can't do Tony, I'd like to. Very much.
Now, if Alice will send away that cab, Mrs. Vanderpump.
What do you say, Alice? Looks like it's going to be a pretty big crowd for dinner. Don't you think you ought to stay?
I'm staying on this. Families ought to get to know each other, don't you think?
Mr. Kirby, Tony, oh Tony. Oh Grandma, you're wonderful.
I've been telling you that for years.
Grandma, here's a letter for you. It was in the icebox.
Let me see. The government again.
How do you do, Mr. Kirby?
How do you do?
Go step into the office, Miss Seymour. I'd like to do a little dictating.
I'd better tell that cat out.
Well, well, well.
What is it, Grandma?
The United States government apologizes. I don't owe him a nickel. It seems I died 8 years ago.
Wow, what did I eat, Grandma?
Remember Charlotte the milkmaid, married under my name?
Yes.
Well, I just told them they made a mistake, and that I'm Margaret Vanderhoff Jr. So they're very sorry, and I may even get a refund.
Why, Grandma? You're an old crook.
Sure.
How did you do, Mrs. Vanderpump? How did you say you speak in the past?
Tonight, my friends, you are going to eat.
Hello there.
How do you do?
Fine, fine. Glad to see you.
What has happened?
He's relaxing. Go ahead and play something, Ed.
Everything will be ready in a minute. You can sit down.
Come on, everybody, dinner! Come on, Mr. Henry!
It's soup.
Mrs. Kirby, is it? We'll have to tell her about it. And have to help Mr. Kirby.
And I don't suppose it's anybody's birthday today, is it?
Mr. Kirby. It must be.
No idea.
Quiet, everybody, quiet. Well, sir, here we are again. Things seem to be going along fine. Alice and Tony are going to get married, and it looks as though they're going to be very happy together. Of course, the fireworks blew up, but that was Mrs. DePin's fault, not yours. We've all got our help, and as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you. Look at this delightful dinner we had. And on your birthday.